Bonnet Barry, man who plays in Spanish football for Rayo Vallecano.
Hello, good morning and welcome. This is the beautiful game, and well, it's a sad day. But just before we get into that, we have a wonderful person making his debut on the show. My brother, my friend, my guy, my man. It's Czech Edgar, Lamba Master, Chef Edgar, Chef Excellence, the main guy in the house. Edgar, it is great to have you. It's sad that this is your first time you're making an appearance on the show because we're talking about this stuff, but it still doesn't matter. You bring fervor, you bring energy into the room. It's great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm super excited to be here. This is real. I have been looking for the opportunity to be on the show with you.
Anytime you want to come, just come and let me know. You even host the show. It's no problem.
So yes, thank you for having me.
Great to have you, Edgar. Of course, T-Girl, Rhoda, Adebanjo in the house.
What's going on? Why?
Is that your name, eh? You know, like, in Lagos State here, I found that people that have compound names, old money. Toyosi's name has the old money feel. Like, Toyosi na person will say her money if they come. Like, it don't already dey here. Like, it dey, so she go get money. She be like, person get money. Well. So, you know, it's great to have you,
just
T-Girl.
exposing me.
Money is there. Money is there.
Anyway,
You're welcome.
Good morning.
It's great to have you.
Good to have you too, Edgar.
All right.
Let's be here.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. You just saw the videos of the lives and times of Peter Rufai and Diogo Jota. We're talking about both of them. So I know I mentioned Toyosi earlier on that for me growing up, Peter Rufai was the epitome of goalkeeping. USA 94 was one of my first encounters with football, the World Cup then, and he was the keeper. We have Rashidi Yekini, who was also passed, you know, and it was surreal. Then if you were a keeper, you were likened to Rufai. If you were, he was it, you know. Great goalkeeper. He had this. You saw some of those big, jerseys that time, and then all of that, and you know, and then as at that time also, he was one of the elder members of the squad, the oldest member. So you know, he was a leader in the squad. Of course, you had Stephen Okechukwu. Keshi was also passed. Who was the captain? You know, they were also leader, but he was a strong leader, and he epitomized everything about goalkeeping for me. And it is sad that at 61, you know, after a protracted illness, you know, but there is that talk about how do we value our heroes past? Do we care for them and all of that? You know, it's sad.
All right. I mean, when we talk about Peter Rufai, it's always going to be interesting because this is someone who has just done it all. Different countries, different leagues. As a matter of fact, when your name becomes an adjective to describe how well you can keep things, you have people like Olamide, the musician, who has used Peter Rufai to say this is how well you can keep things. My dad would sit us down sometime, and he would just talk about how amazing Peter Rufai was. And it's interesting to really talk about his legacy. Because apart from his health and the issues that he faced, he was brilliant. And he was brilliant. I am sure in 20, 30, 40 years, we'll still talk about
still talk about Peter Rufai. Tell us your thoughts, man.
He's been a very good example. Just like you mentioned, aspiring goalkeepers or footballers that want to where they cannot decide the position they want to play. And then when they think about Peter Rufai, they'll be like, okay, I would like to be like this man. And the number of clean sheets, the way he saves the ball, the way he's so dramatic about it, the way he dresses too. You know, some people look at people and or some certain idols and look at them with different perspective. Some it could be your skill. Some of them it could just be your aura. I just want to have the aura this man has on the pitch, you know, or the respect they command, you know, in their community or in the footballing space itself. And I think Peter Rufai has all of them, from the name, just like you mentioned, the references you see from, you know, musicians, and even at home, where they tell you, oh, Peter Rufai or Keeper Rufai, there's a way, and then the nickname, the Dodo Mayana. It's beautiful that we can talk about him now. The only sad part is the fact that the way he died, the fact that he has been battling with illness for a while now, for years. We've been seeing it in the news, the rumors, or maybe he passed away, and then they clear up the rumor that he didn't pass away, he's still in the hospital, he's recuperating, he's getting better, and all of that. And that also takes me back to what are plans and things in place for our ex-footballers, ex-legends. What do they do to help them, assist them? You look at the era before. The era before, the way they make money and how football helps them is different from what we have now. Now, you can make money even by just signing a deal with a brand.
Yeah.
You can make money by just
Endorsements,
being on
endorsements.
social media on your own, and aside from just playing for a different club. So making money was totally different from what we had then to what we have now. So imagine how they had to be very prudent then and be very good with money, where they had to invest and make sure, okay, they still have something for the future before we leave. So what are the plans? We talked about Stephen Keshi too. Yeah, he was Nigeria's head coach before he died, so maybe he had some amount of money to an extent. But we've seen so many of them like that were not even footballers, but athletes, where you see athletes or legends just go to their house to visit them because they are bedridden or they are really sick and nobody's paying attention to them. So with this, I think this would probably cause some level of concern for those who are concerned, that they should bring this to our attention, that we need to start making and putting things in place for ex-players. It may not be too much, but something to show them that we value them, we think about them, not just when they are still active and you're praising them and you're singing their name. Once they stop playing football, what are the measures put in place that, okay, we still value you, you're still part of a certain community or board or whatever, so that they can make money from it. It's not free money, but they are giving something, a certain service to get money and get paid for it.
I like what you say, because you see, look, people have spoken about that thing about how, should entertainers or people that have done something, should they be entitled? But you see, they gave us joy at some point. And, I feel like whenever we human beings, a human being is wired to appreciate. When someone has given you joy over a very long time, it doesn't matter what the person did, because someday we hope to get to that age and even get past. And think about it, life happens. How are you sure that the plans you made for retirement is to come out as you wanted? If you gave joy and somebody wants to appreciate you, it is, for me, it is not, I like what she's saying. Do you think there's any other way that we can find a way that even before they pass on, we can take care of them? And I don't know. Our administrators,
that's why I said put them to work. They could do anything. They could do anything, and then they get paid for it.
When he was just before, this whole issue of his illness, one thing he always wanted was to be a coach.
Yes,
and
he held clinics. You are right.
Yes,
you're very right.
He had always mentioned
football clinics.
Yes, with the clinics, that this is something he wants to do. And just like you said, I also agree that there should be a certain body, that comes together to say, when you get to a certain age. Because let's be honest, life expectancy, like in life today, is 50. When you're already 50-something, 55.
African life expectancy has really dropped. You're right.
Yes, it's now 52, 53. I think it was 52. Yeah, 52 at the time. Last time I checked. I could be wrong on that.
No, you're absolutely right. It was 55 at max.
Yeah, but
life expectancy, that 50 to 55 range.
So I think that what we should do when you get close to the retirement age, as an athlete or as a footballer or whatever, one should be able to say, okay, there is a body that is responsible to make sure there is something in place for you. Whether it's teaching, whether it's sharing knowledge, whether it's you just getting pension, some certain level of pension, And then there should also be opportunities for these people to have, easy access abroad. If this person has played in Portugal, he has played in Brazil,
Spain, in Belgium.
Why shouldn't he be able to? Why can't we just say, a player like this should have easy access to travel all the way and have all the treatment that he needs?
Yes, just as an aside, what happened with Tijani?
Yeah, I was about to mention
We'll get close to that because it's very close to what happens to Jota, right? But let's wrap up this one, and I know for all of us here, we condole with the family, friends, and may his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace,
Now, this one is even a much more sad one.
Rufai was 61.
Rufai was 61.
Diogo
Jota at 28. Andre Silva at 26. It hit us. Both of this was on Thursday. Diogo Jota was Thursday morning, and then by the night, by the time of the night, it was Peter Rufai. Diogo Jota was just 28. It's first time. We've seen footballers have passed, but somebody at the peak. This is just
and young.
This is peak. 25, 26. That's peak age. It is his best season with trophies. He just picked the EPL with Liverpool. He just picked the Nations League with Portugal. He just got married. So personal trophy, Baba had picked.
So let me tell you how interesting that is for Jota. So after playing for Wolves, going on loan, coming back, and then moving to Liverpool. He wasn't the favorite 9 with Klopp. But with Slot, things really changed. Guess what? His first match for Slot, he was the one who scored. Last match against Everton, he was the one who scored.
To take them closer to the title.
So at a point, it was more like Jota was the guy starting over Darwin Núñez. And Jota's career had just gotten to the top in quick time. And if you go on his Instagram page, I was just going through his Instagram page and I realized that the last post that he made, which was that same day, I think earlier hours, of his marriage and his wedding, I mean. So it's really sad that, because I was talking to a friend of mine one time and I said, and this was just a joke, I told him, I said, I believe that if you really want to live long in life, go and play football, because you hardly hear these people die. That's what I told my friend. I said, if you want to...
But it's true, you
hardly hear players...
Yeah, health-wise.
Yes, health-wise.
They're some of the most healthy people.
Yes, they're always there.
Well, was it not... Let's say he's a politician or the jam man, the man that was involved. They said, man proposes, God disposes.
Yes.
That's on a lighter note. Just that's how it is. You can make plans. You can, think that you're doing right. You're healthy. You're doing everything well. But life just happens. Life is a mystery. It's funny when you just feel like you're towing the right path. And I always wonder, why is it that the good people that are nice, they are humble, they are lovely, they die before the evil ones. Like, you see the evil ones that are clocking,
that's a good
they're clocking 100, they're
also.
clocking 120, and I'm like, what are you still doing alive? Just go. But
I'm trying to say we should stay wicked.
No, at the end of the day, I mean, good, bad is relative. But I was reading through the story of what really happened with the Lamborghini. I think it was a Lamborghini he was driving, and then one of the tires exploded.
Because he wanted that overtake, and
he wanted to overtake, a car. And then you had that bus with the tire. And it's very interesting when you really look at these things to say, oh, people can go about and say, oh, why were you trying to overtake? Why were you over speeding?
Or the disadvantages of having a fast car.
But at the end of the day, I really just see it as someone who had just won the Premier League, someone who just recently got married, someone who is really just celebrating life, who is having a great time. It's just sad. It's just sad that life can happen. I don't want to say death. Life can happen to anyone at any time.
That took me back to other footballers that had car crash. Most recently is Mikel Antonio. Immediately that thing happened, I remember this guy that wherever he is now, whether he's in West Ham or he's in London or anywhere, he would be thinking, I'm sure he's going to send shivers down his spine. I just had an accident. I saw the video where he was recuperating, going through in the gym and
physiotherapy
and all of that. And the pain is going through. The therapy will also need to go through
mental
therapy. I still have to play football, or would I get hurt or whatever. But I'm sure now he'll be more thankful and grateful that didn't take my life. We've seen Kun Aguero too went through the same thing. Antonio Reyes was not so lucky. He died in Spain with that car crash. And so many of them like that.
Look at Tijani Babangida. His brother died. The wife lost her memory. She can't even remember her child. She lost some part of her face. The eye is gone. In fact, I asked her to do a memorial. A fundraiser, not memorial, of course, memorial for the rest of the family. And they had to put a fundraiser. They came out. This Tijani Reinders, he said, of course, it's not Nigeria.
Because of him,
but because of his, his parents, they're Dutch and all that. And because of how much Tijani Babangida was a star for Ajax. They named their son. So you hear that thing where you say somebody's naming their son Messi. They happen. They named this son Tijani. And the guy has a Nigerian name, but he's not. He doesn't have any Nigerian roots. He doesn't have any, and that tells the power of football. You see past skin. So that's why whenever I see a fan of football or a footballer that's racist, it's shocking. Because this is something. It's like music. These are the two most powerful tools in the world. And that's why when you listen to us on Max FM, there's that combination of football and music. Those are the two most powerful things. How many? You know how many foreign songs we can sing? We're singing Awilo Lokomba. How many? What do we understand? When we're singing a Jamaican song,
you
understand? How much of a Mampiano do we understand? Same with football. Everybody knows what goal means. Everybody knows what pass means. Everybody knows what shoot is. No matter in what language, goal is goal.
I don't even know you personally.
Goal is goal. Have you in South America, Arabian commentators, goal is goal.
There was one message that really touched me. It was a lady that posted it, where she said, when he plays against Arsenal, she doesn't like him, and because he's always scoring against Arsenal. She said, but now that what she would give that she would rather have him score loads of goals against Arsenal than, you know, have the news that, you know, he passed away.
One thing that really like touched me, just like you mentioned, is the unity with football.
Yeah.
If first of all, it was a very dark day in football. Almost all, I don't want to say all, but most of the clubs held their transfer stories that day, and
they also waited for Liverpool to break the news and
first,
post all of those
and then
stuff.
you had other clubs. I know that Man U, Arsenal, and some other clubs also posted his picture as well.
Yeah.
Everyone would just at that point forgets about all the rivalry that comes with football, just to show that they're in support.
You get to see Everton. Everton were very gracious. You know, they turned up very well.
Yeah, Wolves as well. Wolves as
Edgar,
well.
what do you think happens when Liverpool come back? They are starting pre-season. It's supposed to be on Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. So he was given maybe 1 or 2 days, some few days, but he was coming. He wanted to join early.
Yeah.
So next one, 3 days time, they are coming back. I don't know if they've been given I don't know if they've been given a compassionate leave, but the officials will start on Monday. What do you think is in the players' minds? What happens when they arrive? How is Liverpool? Liverpool. This was a exciting test for Liverpool. They now have the British record transfer. It's looking like the season is going to be super for them, and this just happens. How will this season be for Liverpool?
So to be honest, I really do not know. But if I were to suggest what I think would happen, it would be a case where the players would come together to say, you know, Jota had a great, brilliant last season. Let us do this for him. Let us come together. Let us play good football for Jota. I am sure that people would celebrate in turns, revealing his number. Yeah. I am sure that the club would also decide to say, let us, what's the word?
Retire.
Yes, they've done that. They've retired.
Awesome, exactly.
They've retired the jersey.
And they've also upheld the 2-year contract. They will definitely honor it.
So. Exactly. So I am sure they're going to use this as a reason to do better.
They're saying there's going to be motivation for them.
There's going to be motivation to say, let's not just do it for
Salah
ourselves.
mentioned something. He said he's afraid to
come back.
To resume. It's in 2 ways. Like you said, it can be motivation.
Yeah.
But you see, Jota wasn't the one. The player that was expected to leave is Nunes. In fact, the negotiation has started, which I don't know what will happen with Napoli for him to leave. Jota was seen as, even if he doesn't start, we know there's that guy that comes up clutch.
He's always starting. The only reason why he's not starting is because of
injury. Yes, he had injuries and injuries issue.
Going out injured.
But we know that even if they were thinking of getting, he's that player that everybody is a part of the team.
He was like the Origi of Liverpool at some point.
Exactly.
He comes in and scores.
So it's in 2 ways. I feel like they could use it as fuel. And you know, it's in 2 ways, or it could just really miss him so much, and it could affect them.
Yeah,
and then it could be both ways.
It could go either way.
And then how about the family? You know, he had been dating this girl since they were teenagers, and then they have 3 kids. And what would they say, daddy and uncle?
What about the mother? She lost
2 children.
2 sons.
At once. The only sons that they have.
2 sons.
At once.
So it's,
you know, it's
a sad story.
Very
it's sad because I can just imagine, I think he was 27?
28.
28.
His younger brother is 26.
Yeah, he was 28, and this is a career that is just starting for him, for me. You know, he has, what's that thing when they say he has paid his dues? It is time for him to really just enjoy his football.
It.
You know, there's something I went through this one. Someone said that one day you'd laugh your last laugh. One day you'd post your last post on Instagram. Well, you might never know that will be your last post.
You know what worries me the most is the fact when I saw all the achievements and the fact that what he has achieved in the space of 2 months, including the getting married, that's the wedding and all that. So I thought about it, that this whole future we're fighting for, we're chasing after, we're working towards. What if you don't get to see the future?
I try my best to always avoid bad news or sad news.
Honestly, the reason
because this whole thing that happens when you get to think about it is what I try to avoid. I don't want to be in that state, because I guess what happens to me, I wouldn't do anything. I would just be there thinking that life would end in the next minute. And yes, it could end in the next minute, you know.
It's just like longing for the promised land, just like Moses.
Moses and they never
got there.
I think there's a statement by Drake that says, laugh now, cry later. And laugh now, cry later has been interpreted in different ways. For me, it means just enjoy the moment.
Yes.
Whatever comes.
Just enjoy the moment. I think that should be our final word for me.
Yeah.
It's all about the now. Make the best of now. Live, love, laugh. It doesn't mean that you can't love somebody that you should not love. Not everybody you must love.
And that was close to what Konate said. He said yesterday was someone else, today is Jota, Tomorrow it could be anybody. You know, just love, respect, and check in on people, know what's going on. Don't hold grudges. Forgive that person you need to forgive now.
Please
and
do.
Just let it go.
Guys, it was a pleasure. But of course, let's just mention also that his brother, Andre Silva, his brother, you know, because of course, a lot of people are more acquainted with, Jota, not because of Andre Silva is less important. You know, there's that talk about, yes.
They came from the Porto ranks together.
Yes, we are more acquainted with Jota, but he passed with his brother. Very sad. They don't know who was driving yet. Not yet sure who was driving. But you see, like you said, they don't want to talk about speed. Sometimes some people, they're on their own, and then the speed came and made them and they pass. So you know, by sometimes you can just be there. I've thought about it also. I mean, this morning, a lot of stupid drivers were passing me, some were doing anyhow. But then, that stupid driver, there's somebody that's innocent that person could probably, when he involved in an accident. So it's not everybody that an accident. And then, everybody overtakes, for crying out loud. They didn't mention that it was speed. They said he was trying to overtake. And then the tire, you know, we start analyzing. If I have to call one guy and say, I remember my own car, if tire get issue, the thing will show the tire. I say, see, Baba, you will never know when something wants to happen.
Yeah.
You never know.
All right, we commiserate with all the family, with Liverpool and all of them, Peter Rufai, Diogo Jota, and we have to wrap up now. But we will just have all through the rest of the show, you get to see highlights, Peter Rufai and Diogo Jota. We'll just be remembering them. We'll see their highlights and make the best of now. That's just how I want to end today.
Yes.
Just make the best of now. Live, laugh, love, enjoy the moment. Toyosi, thank you so much. Edgar, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll have you on a much more exciting episode quite very soon, and then we'll have more fun. But thank you so much, guys. All right, let's take a look at more of the highlights. It's the tributes and remembering the life and times of Peter Rufai and Diogo Jota.
It's a moment that I will cherish forever.
De la década de Atenas, de 36 años, Mitropoulos en su partido número 82, 8 goles.